What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to a Wildflower Lacquer video. This is quite a huge release. We've got her normal collection that she's launching. We have Polish for Paws, which is her polishes. Usually there's one or two each release. They're usually after one of her pets, and there is a portion of those that go to some animal charity, shelter, what have you, that kind of thing. And we also have another charity polish that's going to benefit Oklahoma after their storms recently. We have another charity polish featuring Moonflower Lacquer, or rather it's For Moonflower Lacquer. Moonflower Lacquer was around a couple of years ago. You might remember her from my older PPU videos, much older, a couple years, at least 2 to 3 years ago. Nadia is the maker, and she's an absolute sweetheart. I'm very lucky to count her as a friend. She has recently been diagnosed with breast cancer. So the Love for Moonflower polish that I'll show you all of those at the end of the video. Sales from Love for Moonflower are going to go to benefit Nadia directly, which I think is a badass thing to do. Thank you, Taylor, for doing that. I think that's really sweet. It's a beautiful polish too, so a great cause there. So our collection this time for this release is one hell of a collection. And when I was putting my collage together for the thumbnail, I was like, this is hella satisfying. We have the jeweled collection. All of the polishes are similar in finishes to their her popular Painting the Roses Red, which I think was an HHC. I have that one. It's stunning. And Autumnal Winds. So if you liked her hollow flaky polishes, you are going to fall in love with this set. It's nothing kitchen sink. It's just straight hollow flaky goodness, and it's in a Roy G. Biv rainbow format. And we've also got brown, black, and white, and a silver to kind of tag along with that rainbow. These are gorgeous. Around the time that I was a little bit new to indie polish, a couple years into it, neon polishes for summer was like the thing. Everyone was releasing like bleach neons or straight up neons. There were colors in between type of neon stuff. It was a big deal. So anything Roy G. Biv at that time, like, I don't know, there was something about seeing a full rainbow collection that I was like a magpie to. And that was one of the ways you could get me to purchase an entire collection. And yeah, I'm going to throw up the collage with just the jeweled collection right here so you can see. It's just so pretty. It's just so satisfying to see a rainbow of colors. They're so freaking pretty. I'm so excited to show you all these. So I'm going to quit yammering. We're going to talk about the jeweled collection first. I'm going to go over the charity polishes, and then we'll talk about the release information. So without further ado, let's dive right in. And first up is Blossom Bliss. This is described as a magenta base with hollow flakes. Now, I want to know, I started off in what I was trying to go for a Roy G. Biv format and how I show you all these. And Blossom Bliss is magenta. I think the video is being decently color accurate to what I'm seeing in person. It is a true magenta with a bit of a red lean to it. So if you're thinking Blossom Bliss and Hearts Aflame, the next one, the red, look close. Maybe in that Blossom Bliss has that red undertone, but they're very different, as you'll see in just a moment. I took this one up to 2 coats, beautiful, smooth, easy to build up opaque jelly formula, and no texture. Hearts Aflame, here we go, is a deep ruby red with hollow flakes. As you can see here, this is a true type of red. It's very cool toned, so incredibly flattering if you have a skin tone like mine, or if you're warm undertoned at all. And again, very different from Blossom Bliss, which it's funny because when I was editing and getting my files together, I was like, did I forget to do the pink? And then it turns out, yes, I did do the pink. They're just similar for whatever reason on my monitor. Anyways, I took Hearts Aflame also up to 2 coats and finished with a glossy top coat. Again, these flakes have no texture, no thirstiness. They dry down semi-flat, semi-gloss, so any top coat is perfect. Cloudberry is an orange base with those hollow flakes. This one's really pretty. I would describe this base color to me in person as being a true pumpkin orange. Lots of versatility for the fall on this particular color. Easy peasy formula here too. They are so smooth and easy to build to opacity. Cloudberry, I did take up to 3 coats. I went in a little bit lighter than, say, Blossom Bliss and Hearts Aflame, and I found that it plumped up to my preference on that 3rd coat. So across the board, 2 normal coats or 3 light coats, your preference. Personally, I will always be team 3 coats, so I thought these looked the best at that 3rd light coat. Sunkissed is a yellow gold base with hollow flakes. This is one of those yellows, in my opinion, that I do agree is a true sunshine yellow. It's pretty primary in how it looks, and I think it's pretty damn flattering on myself, which is interesting to me as I would classify this as being a warm type of yellow. But on my full hand shot here, you can see what I'm talking about. I'm tooting my own horn here. I thought this looked fantastic. So medium to deep skin tones, this is a yellow you might want to try out. This one was also taken up to 2 coats, so you can see the difference there. I kind of flip-flopped in between these as I was working on them and how I was going to show them to kind of, demonstrate what I'm talking about. Hypnotic is a lime green base with hollow flakes. This is like that 7-Up sort of green. It's very pretty, very in your face, and it builds up beautifully. This was another one that I took to 3 light coats, and it popped so good. I think you can do a lot of nail art with these. I think you can blend these if you want. The formula, again, I'm going to repeat myself over and over, is very smooth on all of these. They are so easy to build up, even though they start off on the jelly side, which you will be pleasantly surprised, spoiler alert, for how the Willet Topper segment looks. Vintage is a deep teal base with hollow flakes. This one was another one that I took to 2 coats. I'm learning very recently that I typically don't like the color teal, except when it looks like this. It's really interesting. I was editing something else and I was like, I don't like this. And it's interesting because I typically love blue, my favorite nail polish color, and I like a lot of greens, but I don't know. Anyways, but when teal looks like this, I gotta say it is incredibly flattering. This is that type of shade that I can absolutely get behind. Starry Night is a cobalt blue base with hollow flakes. I don't have to really rave as much as I was screaming in my head when I swatched this. Y'all know how I feel, those of you who follow along with me. This is so pretty. It's so in your face. I do agree with the official description. It's a cobalt. It's what I would describe at the bare minimum as being a true medium blue. Not neon, not, bleached, whatever. It's just straight blue goodness. Kind of almost primary-like. Very pretty. I took this one up to 3 coats. Daydream is a violet-leaning indigo base with hollow flakes. So I do agree with that. I think this is what I consider personally a true violet. I see a lot of times violet is said to be this more leaning purpley sort of base, but I feel like this is like a true Roy G. Biv violet, if that makes sense. I took this one up to 3 coats too, lighter coats, and you can see how lovely that looks on the full hand shot there. Cool toned goodness. I almost want to classify this as being a somewhat blurple though. I do think the video is giving you a good idea of what I'm seeing in person. I think in more extreme lighting situations, you might see a navy pull almost. And I think, in my opinion, that is just the nature of violet. Espresso is a brown base with hollow flakes. I'm typically not a fan of brown nail polish, and I'm also not a fan of black nail polish. And this color, I was pretty impressed. I liked it on myself. It's very warm, and that kind of shied me away from it. But when I built it up and I put my glossy top coat on, I was pretty impressed. I really liked how this looked. It's very neutral and what I would consider a medium type of brown. This is another one that I took to 3 coats just because I wanted to intensify the brown base as much as possible, given that I knew it was looking warm in the bottle. I think the flakes complement this one really well. And if you're looking for something super earthy that's very true to its name, this might be a brown for you. Shattered is the black base in the set with the hollow flakes. I can get behind black polish when it has hollow flakes in it. I really like how it looks, especially with how much flakes are packed in pretty much all of these. This is such a dense type of flaky appearance amongst that black. It has tons and tons of depth, all of them really, from all the flaky action, and how their formulas are not super opaque. They're just light enough to allow that little bit of a pond effect where you can see the flakes between your layers. I thought this one was rich and smooth and almost creamy at 2 coats. And then again, you're seeing a glossy top coat on swatches and my full hand shot. Stardust is a milky white leaning gray base with hollow flakes. I would classify this as a light, or rather a pale, dove gray. It's not stark white. There is absolutely a bit of a gray lean. It's very cool toned and beautiful. This one heavily leans like a curly sort of base, so I think maybe 2 coats would be perfect for most, but again, 3 coater person here, that's what I took it to. This is one of those types of finishes and formula that when you are pretty nifty with a cleanup brush and acetone, you're going to get those beautiful tight lines against your cuticle and your nail. It just makes it look so clean and almost palette cleansing. I really liked this one. Moon Dust is the last one in the jeweled collection, and it's a clear base with hollow flakes and scattered iridescent glitter. This one's pretty fun, and the iridescent glitter takes on a kind of dark type of multi-chrome effect, and they're on the heavier side in how they apply and how they land on your nails. I had no issues with fishing for them. I just shook my bottle up like usual, and I got plenty on my nail. Now, with that said, because they are on the heavier side, as you saw on the coats there, they do have some dragging as you're going on the nail. So just go in somewhat light when you are placing those larger glitters and you're just fine. I think 3 really, really thin coats is perfect to build this one up. If you tend to apply heavy-handed, you'll absolutely want to stop at 2 coats. There's a bit of thirstiness and a touch of texture. So I don't think it warrants a glitter smoothing top coat, but I think a thicker glossy top coat at the minimum will be perfect for this. And then here we've got our first charity polish. This is Love For Moonflower. This is a semi-sheer teal tinted base with purple to pink to orange shifting shimmer. This is what I would classify as heavily flirting with being a sheer type of buildup to it. If you have an incredibly prominent free edge or you're rocking super long nails, I think you're gonna see a peekaboo effect with your visible nail line. You can kind of see through my falsies here on my full hand shot to give you an idea of that. It's not the most sheer, but it's definitely there. I think 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. If a visible nail line bugs you, I'm going to say my standard disclaimer, use a nude to you cream base or a blurring base coat of some sort. This is very shifty and super shimmery. Midnight Margaritas is a limited edition inspired by practical magic. It's described as a clear base with gold to green to blue shifting shimmer, hollow flakes, and scattered red to gold to green crystal shifting flakes. This one is basically iridescent upon iridescent upon iridescent layers in a bottle, a ton of versatility with it. If you're going to build it up to, I'm going to say a pseudo opacity, I would say 3 light coats. It's got a bit of a plumping formula to it, so just be careful for over buildup. You do have an array of sizes of flakes. There are some chonky ones, as you saw there on my middle finger. So all you need to do is just kind of push it back on your nail if it slides off. No issues here. This is what I would also consider a sheer type of buildup. So the standard disclaimer for visible nail line would apply here, just like the one Love For Moonflower. And then finally, we've got Powdered Sugar Face. This is a powdered purple base with a very subtle red to gold to green shifting shimmer, scattered red gold to green crystal flakes, and scattered iridescent rainbow glitters. It also states in our PR information, this one's also on the sheer side. I do agree with that. I would classify this as it being a milky type of finish, so standard disclaimers apply here too for a visible nail line. This has a plumping type of factor to it on the formula, so I would suggest 3 really light coats. Let it slowly build up with the idea that it's intended to have this milky sort of effect. Finish with a good glossy top coat. It's a touch thirsty from the chunkier flakes and you're perfect. This is really pretty and light and delicate. And I personally also have a powdered sugar face myself. My old man pupper is going to be 16 in November. It's hard to believe it's been that long. Now, the last polish I wanted to show you all that's going to be available during this release is the last charity polish. We've got Love For Oklahoma. I'm just showing you on the website here. This was a last minute addition to this release, and it's for a wonderful cause, just like the other charities this month. This is what it looks like on the website. It's a true ultra super hollow type polish. $8 from each bottle is going to go to the Disaster Relief Oklahoma for the support of their affected areas throughout the state. So that's really cool, and I just wanted to highlight it here. And we're going to wrap up this jeweled collection with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. So, big surprise, at least I was pleasantly surprised, that all of these colorful flaky polishes look really beautiful over black. They are heavily tinted, so the silvery look that you'd normally get from the hollow flakes are taking on their respective colored appearance. So of course we've got that strong tint, so I would just be cautious if you want to layer these over, say, contrasting colors. I think that there is some contrasting way that you can layer these, but overall they do work over black and they'll work over their respective colors if you wanted a more scattered, flaky sort of effect. And I didn't need to go in super light or dry brushing, anything like that. I just went in normal for me, and you can see how beautiful they just popped over the dark color. Shattered over black almost looks like its own topper, but personally, I think that's where Moondust would come in. Stardust is the only one that I would say I personally did not like how this looked, and I think that's just because it's not so jelly, it's more curly in formula. But Moondust looks like it's almost like the respective topper for this entire collection. So just go in a touch lighter on how you do that if you layer, and you're good. Love for Moonflower is beautiful, and I think this would look fantastic over a ton of different type of teals, purples, blues, and these last two, the more milkier type of lighter finishes, look fantastic. Midnight Margaritas also looks like its own topper, and Powdered Sugar Face, because we've got that milky sort of effect, please know it does have an almost cloudy gray-ish sort of appearance. Normally during Wildflower Lacquer releases, there's usually like a couple of days of a pre-order window. Because this is such a massive release, the pre-order is going to go for an entire week. It's going to start this Friday, May 10th at noon Central Time, and it's going to run until May 17th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. You can grab the jeweled collection for $13.50 each. That also includes the charity polishes too. But if you want the full, just the jeweled collection, you can grab all of them, the whole rainbow, for $156 for the full set. I will have charity information in the description box below too, including timestamps if you want to go back and see anything. These were so much fun to swatch. I don't know. I just love a good rainbow. Now, before I cut you guys loose, for those of you who tune in for the entire outro of my videos, I do have a little sneak peek to show you all. You won't see it during this release. You will see it for her July releases. Taylor is one of those makers that she is so on top of her stuff that when I'm recording for one of her collections, usually I have in hand her next release too. It's amazing. It's very nice for planning videos and scheduling and swatching and all that stuff. Anyways, we have, dun dun dun, drum roll please, Wildflower Lacquer. What is this called? It's called Wildflower Lacquer Nectar. This is intended to be not only for your cuticles, she formulated it for, and it says it right here, look at that, I remembered. It's for nails, hair, and skin. So, I have been using it the last couple of nights just to kind of test it out, get a feel for it, get an opinion on it. I can safely say that this is a fantastic cuticle oil. It has jojoba, I believe. Yes, it does have jojoba. I'll just read you guys the ingredients. I'm getting ahead of myself. The ingredients are jojoba oil, avocado oil, argan oil, and a fragrance oil of some type. The one that she's going to be releasing in July is confectionery berry. It smells like a sweet, very bakery berry to me. It's, yeah, very, that's funny. It's very berry. That's mostly what you're going to get. It smells like a mixed berry, almost like a Captain Crunch sort of scent. It's fruity cereal is kind of what I'm getting, like a fruity berry cereal. The way it soaks into your skin, I can definitely tell that jojoba oil is in this. If you've ever used that oil solo by itself, you just, grabbed a bottle from the store, it soaks in like that. It's got a thinner consistency to it. It doesn't have that heavier oil feel, and it soaks in really, really fast to your nails. This could be an oil that you could use during the day, and you can also use it in your hair and your skin too. Again, it soaks in really, really nice. I do have incredibly curly hair. Don't judge me right now. I need to get my highlights redone. I don't know if I'm going to keep them or not yet. I can't decide if I liked it enough or not, or if I'm just going to color all over it. all over again. My appointment's in like a month and I'm dying. I can't wait. I need to get a trim so bad. But I have really curly hair. And when I get out of the shower, when I'm actually going to wear it down and super curly, no, I have not mastered the curly girl method yet, or any curly method yet, enough that I'm comfortable enough showing it on camera yet. But it's also because I need a haircut so bad. But anyways, when you use an oil like this, or when I use it, when you get out of the shower, the best time to use it is to scrunch it into the ends of your hair just a little bit, like 5 to 6 drops of oil. My hair is really long right now, so if you have shorter hair, you might want to do maybe like 2 or 3 drops. Just mid to ends of your hair. It's really, really nice, and it soaks in very well too. So if you like a thinner consistency oil that doesn't leave like a super heavy feel on your skin or your hair, you might want to give this one a try. So I figured I'd tease it for you all. I will talk more about it, and I'll have more information, including pricing, all that good stuff. It's a 30 ml bottle. I was super excited. I wanted to show you all this release. So this will be available in July. Regarding May's release, I will have all the information broken down below, including charity information, timestamps, links to Wildflower Lacquer's website. The preview is currently up right now if you want to check out what it's going to look like, all that fun stuff. And I'll also link you to the Facebook group if you want to join that, see additional swatches, interact with Taylor herself. It's all there. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.